I'm Anthony. I've been playing poker for a living since 2019. Hit that intro.
Don't soul roll me if you get quad fours, man.
You folded king, king, jack, jack? You owe me $350. Your money should be in there too.
Did you bluff me?
Would I ever bluff?
I'm leaving right there. I'm on
No,
tilt.
it's on tilt. Thank you, sir. I would not lie to you, sir. I told you I had a full house. Doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
There's two limpers, and I'm in the cutoff with Jack, Jack, 10-7, and 3 hearts, and I call. The button, small blind, and big blind come along, and we're going 6 ways to a flop. The flop is Jack 9-5 with 2 clubs and 1 heart. When it checks to me, I flop top set and a gut shot straight draw that isn't to the nuts, plus backdoor hearts, but I don't block the club draw. I bet the full pot of $30. The small blind calls, as does one of the limpers. The turn is the king of clubs. This is an absolutely terrible card, as I'm facing 2 opponents and both the higher straight draw and the flush draw arrived on the turn. Both opponents check, and I'll take the free card and I check it back. The river is the 4 of spades. Now the small blind bets 50 and I opt to lay it down. Maybe he was bluffing, but it just seemed like a value bet to me and I didn't feel like paying it off. I'm under the gun holding king queen 10-9 with 3 clubs to my king and I limp in. 3 players behind me call, the button raises to 25, the small blind calls, the big blind folds, I call and the limpers call, and we're going 6 ways to a flop. The flop is queen 10-9 with 2 diamonds. They all check to me and I flopped all 3 pair, plus a gut shot straight draw, and on a short stack I decide to make my stand. I bet the full pot of 155. Yeah, I could run into the goods here, but if so, I have a decent number of outs. If I were deeper stacked and facing deeper stacked opponents, I'd exercise more caution and pot control in this spot.
Let's see, wish I still got enough money from the trip. Oh, it's a 9-day, actually. 155? Yeah, may as well.
One of the limpers calls, and the cutoff cold calls as well.
Help me, Poker Jesus. Help me. They know not what they do.
Oh, you still got money left?
Hey, not much.
Poker Jesus about to nut all over this bitch! Bingo bango bongo, Vince. The turn is the queen of spades. I shove all in for my last $15, and both players call. The river is clean, following the deuce of spades. The first player checks, the cutoff shoves all in on him.
155 plus your 15? Oh, yeah, I feel.
Nuts.
Queen 10. You got picked?
Oh, yeah, queen 9. I had queen 9 too. Yeah, queen 9, 8, 7.
Queen 9. That's
7
okay.
hearts,
That was a good
8 of
ass hand.
spades.
See, you could put diamond down there, y'all wouldn't have to worry about that. Nobody would have been upset by missing their vote.
Thank you, sir.
What do you charge for 9 days?
Thank you, thank you.
I've never been to a cruise, so I don't know.
I'm in middle position. I look down at Jack 9, 8, 7 with 3 diamonds to my Jack. I limp in after there's 1 caller. 2 players behind me call, and then an aggressive Asian on the button makes it 25 to go. The small blind and big blind and limper all call. I call, the other limpers call, and we are going 7 ways to a flop.
All right, he cannot beat all of us, guys. Let's get him. Punish him, dealer.
The flop is 5-4-3 with 2 hearts.
Yep, he punished
5
the
of
shit
hearts,
out of
3 of
him.
hearts, 4
I
of
feel it from here.
clubs.
It's checked around. The turn is the deuce of hearts, and once again it's checked all the way around. The river is the 6 of spades. I've made my nut straight, but the flush came in on the turn and someone could be out there sandbagging, so I can't really represent anything that beats a flush, and I don't see much value in betting. Now the cutoff bets 100. The button goes deep into the tank but eventually lands on a fold. It folds to me and now I go into the tank. I eventually find the call. Based on his position, he could just be trying to steal given how weak everyone has been throughout the hand.
You're good.
All right, we're good. You want to show it for the vlog? No bluff for the vlog? All right, fair enough.
Straight.
Straight.
The biggest strike.
Thank you.
There's 2 callers, and in the hijack I look down at ace-7, 6-3 suited and diamonds to my ace, and I come along. Oh, hey, look at that. The aggressive Asian in the small blind makes it 30. The big blind and both limpers call, and we're going 5 ways to a flop. The flop is 8-5-3 with 2 spades and 1 diamond. Our aggressive friend bets the pot of 150, which doesn't make any sense for someone raising pre-flop, and now another player raises to 600. While I'm open-ended, I don't have a full wrap draw, nor do I have or even block the spade flush draw, so I let it go. The raiser had a set, but I would have gotten there on the turn to win a nice pot. I still made the right fold in the moment.
So raise, you might have gotten the winner out.
Going once?
Oh, she's got a set of 8s. Oh, that was me. God damn it. You got the winner out. God, I was going to snap him off too. Fuck. You got the winner out, Scooby.
You got it straight?
I'm under the gun +1. I limp in holding ace 10, 8-3 suited in hearts to my ace. The small blind folds, the big blind makes it 15. I call and we're going heads up to a flop. The flop is 10-7-2 all spades. We both check, and the turn is the 8 of diamonds. Again, we both check. The river is the 8 of clubs, and after he checks, I announce pot.
It's pot. 35. You know what it was.
I got there, Scoob. Easy game.
The $10 straddle is on. I call an early position holding ace 8, 6-3 suited in clubs to my ace. There's one caller behind us, and once again that aggro Asian who keeps losing pumps it to 55, and we go 5 ways to a flop. I work in mysterious ways, bitches! The flop is 9-7-4 with 2 clubs, giving me the nut flush draw and an open-ended straight draw. So, a pretty strong combo draw in this spot. A player in the blinds bets the pot of 280. I shove my stack in for 700, and we agree to run it twice. The first run out is 4-10, giving me the nut straight on a paired board. The second run out comes Jack-Jack. He turns over ace 2-3-4 with a 3-high flush draw and bottom pair that he stacked off with. I was a commanding 68% equity favorite when the chips went in, but he manages to squeak out with half the pot.
Yeah, chop it up. All right, pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Oh, I had 6 8, didn't I? I would have got 3/4.
Yep.
In my head, I thought I had 4. Good shove.
Thank
I
you.
got 3/4. I had 6.
I'm under the gun and limp in holding ace-jack 10-9 suited in diamonds to my 10. 4 players call, and the cutoff juices the pot to 20. Small blind calls, the big blind folds. I call, as do all the limpers behind me, and once again we're going 7 ways to a flop, a heads-up pot in Texas. The flop comes down ace 9-3 with 2 diamonds. When it checks to me, I've got top 2 pair, plus a flush draw, or blockers. I bet the full pot of 145, and I get 1 caller. The turn is the 3 of hearts. I check, my opponent bets 200, and I go deep into the tank.
Did I show what you fold?
Eventually, I settle on a shove for 670. My opponent could have ace-king here and think he's ahead when the 3 pairs the turn. He could have a better flush draw I don't want to let get there on me as well. He could also have ace-3 and just have outdrawn me, but if that's the case, so be it. We agree to run twice, and I see the bad news as he turns over king-jack 9-3, suited in hearts to his jack. So on the flop, he called a pot-sized bet with bottom 2 pair and around 10% equity. But of course, he's bailed out on the turn, which leaves me with under 8% equity when the rest of the money goes in.
We're all in for 670. Twice as nice. Are you there? You got a 3? Oh God. Okay. I got some outs. I got a flush. Oh, hold on. Let me just hand. Nice hand. Nice hand. Wow. I flopped top 2 pair and then flush draw, and he needs a 3, and he just fucking hits it. I can't even shout suck a deal anymore. I'm not shouting it anymore. Nice hand, nice hand.
We're 9-handed in a double board bomb pot. In the big blind, I look down at ace-8, 6-4 suited in spades to my 8. The flops come down jack-8-4 with 2 spades and jack-5-2 with 2 diamonds. We all check to the aggressive Asian who bets 100. There's one caller and I shove for my last 210. They both shove.
Other player shoves, other player calls.
Twice.
Twice is nice.
More, I hope you're drawing, because you got a made hand, you know you're in trouble.
I'm drawing.
Yeah. If you're drawing, you do pretty good. If you got a made hand, like if you flop the boat, you know that's bad for you.
That? Yeah.
I can't believe it.
10-3 gonna always be.
Wanted that 10 on the other board.
You called this, right? Yeah. Sorry.
I wanted those cards reversed. All right, I got the flush. Oh, you got side pot. Yeah, I'll let you do side pot first.
Some winners. So we've got Mr. Jackson 3s and Jackson 10s. Jackson 3s, Jackson 10s.
Ladies, Jackson on 3, please.
For the side.
Can you
260.
switch the 10 and the 3?
Sure can.
I got the flush. No, I just made 1 pair on this board. He has 2 pair, right? You have 2 pair on that board, Jack's 10s? Yeah, he's good. Chop. Yeah. Got the flush, and I had a gut shot.
Hey, it's Anthony. Thank you guys for tuning in, but we're only halfway through this swingy session. Be sure to tune in next week for the exciting conclusion in part 2. Will Poker Jesus recover from this downswing? Can he defeat these ne'er-do-wells? Tune in next week. Same poker time, same poker channel.
You know, after watching a video like this, sometimes I'll like it, sometimes I'll leave a comment, and sometimes I'll subscribe. Sometimes I'll even do all 3.